The Student Association election is less than a week away. Tonight, we'll talk to President Ali Curtis about the vice presidential election process that's new to this election. Also, this Sunday, the candidates square off in a live debate on OTN. CitrusTV's Nick Cardona and Anna Giles will be here with a preview of what's coming up. Also, a meeting recap and more. I'm Leslie King, and welcome to SA Today. Begin with campus headlines. Even though Nancy Cantor's time at SU has been coming to a close, her voice on nearly 10-year term is not. In an exit interview with the Post-Standard, Cantor firmly defended all of the decisions she made for the SU community. Two of these decisions that she mentioned were the higher student enrollment rate and the expansion of the SU campus with various construction projects. In the interview, Cantor also said that she believes SU's greater engagement with the local community and the world is what defines her time as chancellor. It's nearly Election Day in Syracuse. Residents are deciding if current Mayor Stephanie Miner will continue her term or if competitor Kevin Bott and Ian Hunter will take the position. Along with voting for the mayor today, residents will also be voting for new council members, school board members, and city judge. You can be sure to hear all of the results of these elections tomorrow here on CitrusTV News. SU's Director of Fraternity and Sorority Affairs announced that Alpha Chi Rho will not face ramifications for Patrick Jackson's misdemeanor charges. The former SU student was living in the house where police found about 15 grams of marijuana, 4 ounces of cocaine, and over $5,000. After being reviewed by the Office of Student Rights and Responsibilities, it was found that the brother of the chapter were not involved in Jackson's actions. Jackson pled not guilty to these charges in September. And now here is Student Association President Ali Curtis with this week's campus address. Ali, good evening.
Syracuse, thank you for tuning in tonight. Have a couple of exciting updates. First of all, we had a really great second annual Impact Week this past week. Our volunteers went down to ASPCA, they went to the Samaritan Center, Rescue Mission, and the Ronald McDonald House and had a lot of fun volunteering in the community. It was great to see how thankful everyone was, and I know there is already a third annual Impact Week in the works. We were able to actually donate $440 to Henninger High School's Drama and Arts Department, so we're very excited about that. That was a great honor, and it was really awesome to wrap up the week with the Impact Week Gala at the end. Right now, actually, we have Jeremy Peters on campus. Jeremy Peters is the New York Times political columnist who has come to campus to speak to Syracuse students all throughout today, so we're very excited. He'll be speaking in the Herg tonight at 7 p.m. We really hope to see you there. And finally, most importantly, we're in one of the most exciting and important weeks in all of what SA does throughout the year. We'll be kicking off election week next Monday, so you can vote for SA President, Vice President, Comptroller, and your home college assembly reps until Thursday. We're very excited about this, so keep an eye out. You'll be seeing a lot more from your assembly reps this year. It's actually a very new process, and we have a lot of exciting updates to come. So stay tuned and be sure to get out and vote next week. Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you, Ali. And coming up, she will be back with us to talk about the new vice presidential addition to the election ballot. Stay with us. You're watching SA Today.
I wanna go crazy. You can go crazy too. I wanna go crazy. Wanna go crazy with you. Everybody say whoa.
I'm Russell Oliver.
I'm Maddie Olaskevich.
I'm Irfan Urazi.
And I'm Alex Resnick.
And this is CitrusTV News.
Welcome to my block party. Glad you can make it.
The only triple doubles you get come with fries.
Last time you blocked someone, you were online.
I can do this all day. Your moves are just gay.
Using gay to mean dumb or stupid, not cool.
Not cool.
Not in my house, not anywhere. It's not creative, it's offensive to gay people. And you're better than that.
We are one tonight, and we're breathing
Amanda Harry. I'm Rachel Walsky.
I'm Chris Womer.
And I'm Anna Giles.
And this is Citrus TV.
Welcome back for the very first time in
I don't like what.
elections. The role of vice president and president are going to be coupled on the ballot this year. To get the inside story of how this was made possible, we have with us President Allie Curtis. We'd also like to mention that Allie was vice president for the 56th session. Allie, thank you so much for joining us.
As always, it's great to be here, Leslie. So yeah, this is a very exciting year. It's a very different year, and it's nice to be able to go out my senior year and say, wow, well, the election finally looks the way I feel like it should have, and I know many people agree with me on that.
Now, last year, when this bill was kind of being brought to fruition and you were really proposing this, what are some struggles you faced?
I guess the main struggle was just whether or not that the president should run as a pair with a vice president, or we should just put vice president on the ballot altogether. I know ESF, for example, they will have an election for their president and then a separate election for their VP. So you could run together with somebody, but you might not end up with that person. Now, the reason I was so adamant about having it be that joint ticket is because I think it's very important to have that cohesive vision going into that session and to have your person on your team so you're not having conflicting parties and opponents. We know that's something that could be very detrimental in the long run. So, of course, coming from my perspective as a former vice president and someone who's been a campaign manager, the way it's kind of gone the past couple of years, because prior to this year, you had to be appointed. I appointed Dwayne after I was elected, and Dylan appointed me after he was elected, and so on throughout the history. A lot of that kind of trend was seeing presidential the president-elect actually picked their campaign manager. So this just kind of brought about more transparency, cohesion of vision, and it really allowed people to get out there and get their vice presidential's name out there way ahead of the time.
Now, what have you seen going on in this election that has really been a game changer from previous elections where someone was appointed? You know, has it helped campaigns or hindered them?
I think it's brought a lot more just overall awareness of the campaign itself. Of course, you have 3 very strong presidential candidates, and you have 3 very strong vice presidential candidates with their own sphere of influence. And it's one thing to say, you know, I'm a campaign manager for somebody, vote for my friend, and you could have that kind of in the back of your mind that you could be their VP. But it's a completely other thing to go to a group and say, I'm actually running for vice president. Can you get behind me and support me on this? And I know that's something we've seen a lot. You know, we've seen the vice presidential candidates, Greek houses come out to support them, other organizations. I think overall it's been a way for more students to connect with the election and get behind a candidate and really learn about what it is they're representing and who they're going to vote for come election week.
Excellent. Allie, thank you so much. Once again, it was lovely having you on the show. Stay tuned. Up next, we're going to have Nick and Anna come on and tell us about what they think of this upcoming election.
I'm Leanne DeRosa.
I'm John Tomino. I'm Nick Cardona. And I'm Chris Womer. And this is Citrus TV.
Now it's time for This Week in Bad Stats.
Bad stats?
Horrible stats. Here goes. 132.
That's how many batters struck out 4 times in one game last season.
Wow, very good. Here's a tough one, though. 3 and 4.
No idea.
That's how many kids have witnessed bullying. 3 out of 4.
That's not a good stat.
No, it's not, but it can change. Kids want to help, but they don't know how. Visit stopbullying.gov and give them the tools they need to help prevent bullying.
There are plenty of safe ways kids can help at stopbullying.gov.
We are different. Society should aspire to be more like us.
Be part of the first class. Get energized. Get outside.
Hold on, guys. It's gonna get bumpy.
And get moving. Experience the power of physical activity. Join the movement at ActionHeroAlliance.com.
Last night, Student Association began with Comptroller Stephen DeSalvo presenting the full, partial, and non-funded bills for a vote within the Assembly. Some organizations who applied for money from SA were present at the meeting to hear the deliberations. The Assembly also voted to allow the students to vote on a referendum to freeze the annual raise in the student activity fee for the 2014-2015 school year. Comptroller Stephen DeSalvo said money from last year would carry over to the next academic year, making the increased fee unnecessary. Total, this will save each student about $8 and the entire university about $100,000. During the meeting, there was also a series of elections within the Assembly. Phil Porter and Ben Jones were elected to serve on the University Senate. Ben is currently the SA parliamentarian and has been a member of University Senate before. This will be Phil's first time serving on University Senate. Junior Amanda DiNardo was elected to the Board of Elections and Membership. Here's what she had to say about her new position.
Leadership positions at different organizations in my previous college, and I like that I can reach out to students and actually make a difference. So when I joined SA, I kind of just wanted to find my niche and see what was important to me. PR became a big portion of what I've been doing in the last semester, but BEM does need some, and I'm definitely I feel like I would have a very big impact on the way that elections function, as well as internal things about just getting our mentee program back on track.
This Sunday, CitrusTV and SA will host the final debate of the election season in the Hergenhan Auditorium in the Newhouse School. Joining us now are the main moderators of this debate, CitrusTV's Nick Cardona and Anna Giles, to give us a preview of what we can expect on Sunday. Welcome, both of you.
Thank you, Leslie.
Thank you.
So what exactly can we expect to see from both you guys this Sunday coming up?
I think what's interesting about this debate is that a majority of the candidates are not in SA. I mean, you look at Ivan and you look at Simone, they're not in SA, so it's going to be interesting how they're going to tackle issues that are internal issues that can only be enacted by SA members, and they're not in SA. So that's going to be one interesting thing that we're going to talk about, I think.
And two things we will see come out in this debate is internal and external. And by that I mean internally, we'll have candidates debate over how they're going to reform SA. That tends to be a topic that comes out in these elections. It's historically come out in these elections. And by external, I mean engagement with the community and benefiting students. Those are going to be the two main areas we discuss, and the two main areas that have come out in the platforms of the candidates up for election this term.
What can we expect to see from this debate that we may not have seen in the past?
I think what's interesting about this debate is that, seeing the 57th session and how lack of transparency in SA, I think that's going to be one of our main topics again in the debate, and I think that's something that we're going to have to keep an eye out for in terms of, just making sure these candidates are ready to take on this position. So.
Right, as Nick says, there's been a lot of internal turmoil. As we've seen throughout coverage over the last couple of semesters, we've seen, impeachments against current President Ali Curtis and people stepping down. It's, what's going to be different this time around is the reaction to that and how SA is going to build itself back up.
Excellent. Now, final question. What can we expect, do you think, from individuals that are going to be participating in these elections that is going to be very different? I know the comptroller debate was a big thing last year. Not so much this year, so what else can we see?
I mean, well, there's only one candidate for a comptroller, so that's going to be an interesting thing. I mean, it's not really going to be a debate, it's more of like a conversation with the candidates. So that's going to be something different that we didn't have last year.
And looking at the presidential candidates, they're all very diverse, all very different backgrounds. Some, as Nick mentioned, aren't even in SA. They all bring very different things from the table, which is unusual because usually presidential candidates come from within SA. So we've got a diverse pool this time around.
Excellent. And finally, when these candidates come up before these elections, a lot of times, I think this time around, we have a lot of candidates that are very passionate and very fired up about their election. Do you see it getting, things getting like that again?
I mean, I think it's going to be a heated debate. I mean, these candidates are very passionate about what they do, so I think it's going to cause a lot of different conflicts, and I think it's going to be interesting. It's going to be pretty fiery, I think.
And as we mentioned, especially with internal turmoil from last semester, that will be brought up, and that is guaranteed to cause some tension.
Excellent. Nick and Anna, thank you so much for being here tonight, and we will see you on Sunday. A reminder that the debate is this Sunday from 6 to 8 p.m. in the Herg in Newhouse, and if you can't be there, you can watch it on OTN Channel 2 on campus. That will do it for us tonight. We'll be back next week. I'm Leslie King. Have a great night, Syracuse.